Hello everyone and welcome to BodyBags. I'll be your reviewer for today. I'm Lonnie from Tats. And yeah, we got another Jean Rollin film to review today. This one is from 1970, and when they get ready to do this one for in 4K for the indicator line, I don't know what number they're going to give it, but in the redemption line, this is actually the very number one Blu-ray, probably DVD too, that they put out. We have the Nude Vampire. Like I said, I think I already said that this is from 1970. And a little bit, unfortunately, if you're going into this, the vampire in question doesn't really get nude per se. So if you're hoping for that, there is nudity in the film, but it's just the vampire that you think is going to get nude does not get nude. She spends pretty much the entire film wearing this kind of sheer orange kind of dress, I guess you could call it. But yeah, this was Jean Rollin's first color film, and the film stars his real life brother Olivier Martin or Olivier Rollin, and the movie begins. Mm, it's one of those movies you definitely, if you're gonna sit down and watch it, you really gotta stick with it because it will go over your head if you don't. The movie opens with a woman who is, well, you have a group of people in a room and each one is wearing masks. And then a woman who comes into the room, she's also wearing a mask. She gets nude, so there is nudity in the film. But so they take some of her blood type and or her blood sample. We're not exactly sure why. And then we're introduced to our female vampire, who she comes. We're not exactly sure what's going on at first, but she comes out of a building and she starts walking along, and she's being followed by these people wearing masks. And it's almost very Wicker Man like. It looks very much like something out of the Wicker Man. Um, and so we're not entirely sure what is going on. And then, it appears she is trying to get away from these people. And she comes across this young man who is Pierre, who is Olivier Roland, and he ends up being our main character of the film. And he sees that they're being followed by these people, so he tries to help the girl. And at one point, they shoot the girl, and he manages to get away, but then he goes to his father, Redimente. Yeah, I think that's how you say it, Redimente, something like that. And he talks to his father, and his father is kind of very, um, his father's not much help. And so Pierre is frustrated, and he believes that his father knows things that he's not telling him. So he wants to find out, like, I think my father is hiding something. Excuse me. I think my father is hiding something, and I really want to know what it is. And so, it's like, I know that my father is part of this secret kind of club, and and he knows the place where they took the girl, and so he wants to go. And the idea basically is like when Pierre first sees the girl, they never really give her a name. She's just known as the girl or the vampire. Um, so he wants to basically, as soon as he sees her, it's pretty much for him. It's love at first sight, and he wants to know who she is. He wants to know more about her. What did they do to her? Did they hurt her? What's going on? And so he manages to sneak into this club, and it is revealed that basically his father is running something of a cult, I guess you could say. And these people are committing suicide, and then the girl, she comes out and she's drinking their blood. And so Pierre goes to his friend Robert, and the two of them, they're trying to, they want to find out what Pierre's father is up to, and they're trying to kind of unravel this mystery about what is going on. And this is a movie, it's very, very hard to talk about without, giving anything away. But, so, yeah, they're trying to find out what's going on. And in the meantime, you have of course, they're basically, I think they're called like the twins, the two girls there. And, that is pretty much a staple of a lot of Rollin's films. Usually there's always these two girls. Sometimes they're twins, sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're sisters, sometimes they're not. Just there's usually these always these two girls who are, uh, like they're always connected to kind of what is going on, and yeah, so Pierre and his friend Robert, who they're trying to find the girl, and he wants to make sure the girl is safe, and he's in love with her, and stuff, and so then it turns into basically Pierre has to turn against his father and turn against his father's friends, and then try to see about gaining the girl back, and I think I'm gonna kind of leave it at that. Um, One thing I will say though, this is a movie like you're pretty much you really need to sit down and watch it, and you're gonna have to be really able to invest your time into it because this movie it's a lot of it is very silent performance. There is dialogue in the film, but there is a lot of silent performance in this film. It's almost done as a silent movie, and you have to be awake, you have to be alert, and everything else because there are plenty of scenes of just quiet and just trying to go for atmosphere. So if you're not paying attention and you're not awake, you will fall asleep. And I have to admit, I almost started to snooze. It's not that the movie's bad or boring. It's just that yeah, if you're going into this movie and you're tired and sleepy and stuff like that, this movie is not gonna. Yeah, this movie will help put you to sleep. So it's just there's a lot of quiet scenes, a lot of just uh, scenes of like I said, it's very almost like silent film like, and a lot of the actors are conveying emotion or conveying the story or progressing the story through emotion and facial expressions and things like that. Um, One thing I will say though that I liked about this movie is that Roland. Well, I kind of have like a love hate relationship with it. I love the idea that Roland tried to basically kind of create like alternate dimensions, an alternate universe, almost like he was almost trying to do almost like his own kind of Lovecraftian thing, in that he was trying to show other worlds, other dimensions, other beings, and things like this. And in the movie, it's even hinted at that the vampire is not a vampire, but actually a like a more evolved mutant, a form of evolution and things like this, and that basically Radamonte ends up turning. She's only a vampire because Radamonte makes her into one, and keeps her out of the daylight, and forces her to drink blood, even though that's not really what she is, and everything else. It's like uh, like I said, Roland tried to play into other dimensions and everything else, and I felt like he had maybe that's the thing. I haven't seen all of Roland's films, and I haven't read his books, but I do get the feeling I think he was really, really trying for something a lot more here, and trying to really like expand on the universe in his stories, which is one of the reasons why he always had the two girls, as this kind of like thread that connects a lot of his stories, and that there was always I think he always had like a bigger scale in mind, but it's just it is mentioned in this movie and it is hinted at, but I'm just not really sure. Like I said, he might have done it more in his novels, but I'm not really sure if he explored too much of it in his films, because like I said, I haven't seen all of them. But it is an interesting concept, and I do think that that is kind of cool that he was trying for more here. Um, One thing I will say though, unfortunately, is the movie is uh, there are scenes that I hate to say, I mean, I do like Roland as a director, and I think, yeah, I think he has really good ideas. I think that he is, he has good ideas for stories and everything else, and obviously he's a very visionary director. Visually, this movie is beautiful. It's very stunning to look at. The costumes, the set designs, the choice of locations, things like that. I mean, stylistically, it's a gorgeous film, And I'm actually looking forward to when Indicator is going to put this on 4K because I bet it's going to look amazing. It looks good just right here on the Redemption Blu-ray. So I imagine, yeah, you get this on 4K with high dynamic range. Yeah, it's going to look astounding. So looking forward to that. But unfortunately, just the way it's just some of the scenes, the way he directed them, they were not done very well. Like there are scenes where there's fighting, like people shooting guns, and it looks very, very cheesy. It looks very unrealistic. It's not convincing at all. Like there's a scene where a character gets shot, and you could tell, like, I mean, there's no squib involved. There's not even so much as like the guy's even like holding a cup of fake blood in his hand, just go, ah, not even that. I mean, the guy is just literally just, it's literally like, just two kids playing, like one of them pretending and playing like they got shot. Just, oh, I got shot. And it's literally like that pretty much. So, just, certain scenes like that. And just, some of the, and two, some of the dialogue, like when you're listening to the movie and, you're watching the subtitles and things like this. You're like, this is not how people talk to each other. This is not realistic dialogue. So it's just, like I said, he had good ideas for stories and everything else. Just unfortunately, he wasn't always the best when it came to executing his ideas, you know. And I just think, there was some areas he could have improved upon, but despite that, there still is, like his movies, his stories. There is quite a bit of beauty and elegance, and just yeah, there's still enough here to keep you interested in. But just yes, just some of the technical flaws is just going to be kind of glaring. But like I said, just I just wish like I said, I need to see more of his films. Hopefully, maybe if I get to see more of his films, he might have expanded on, his universe and stuff. And like I said, there is nudity, but if you're going in thinking this is going to be like a very softcore film and stuff, that's not really the case. Some of his movies were done that way, like Night of the Hunted, but you realize that wasn't really his intention. Even though Rollin did direct both softcore and hardcore films during his career, I think there were times like he really was just trying to make a movie and tell a story, but usually like something like distributors or producers or somebody, they would come in and force him to force his hand and make him direct, sex scenes and things like this to try to, you know, uh, get more to make the movies more commercial and stuff. And honestly, I think the reason why the movie's called The Nude Vampire, I think, is just to, they just figure if they give it this kind of name, it would be more exploitation and things like this, and it would get butts and seats. But then I think if you're going in, it's like, oh wow, you're just going to see hot naked women throughout the whole movie, you're going to be very disappointed in that. But anyway, yeah, that's about all I can say without giving away too much more. But honestly, yeah, I mean, this is, I don't think it's Rolland's best film, but it's definitely not, it's not horrible, and it is watchable. And, when, you sit down and you go into it and invest in it, it's not, in it, that is kind of the thing is like, starting to watch it, you're going to be kind of worried. It's like, oh my God, is this going to be like really, really difficult to follow? And, as long as you're paying attention, it's not hard to stay on point and to understand what's going on in the film. So it's not that hard to get. So, but yeah, I would say, it's an interesting watch. It's got some good ideas behind it. And, like I said, just, like, I think just the execution could have been done a little bit better, but other than that, yeah. So, if anybody took the time to watch this, I thank you for doing it, and I appreciate you for doing it. I also hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, would you please leave it a like? And if you haven't already, could you please go ahead and subscribe to the BodyBags channel? We have a different reviewer, one for every day of the week. I am the Saturday reviewer. And, I'm really, really glad to be part of this group. And, it really is. It's an honor to be here, and it's an honor to be among the men that I'm doing these videos with. And that's it. So take care, everybody. Have a good night, and I'll see you later.